A Nation Uprooted, the Mass Deportation from Nigeria, written by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. In a move that sent shockwaves across the African continent, Nigeria deported over 1 million undocumented African migrants in 2023. Images of families torn apart, belongings strewn across borders, and desperate pleas for compassion flooded international news. This mass expulsion, unprecedented in its scale and swiftness, has ignited fierce debate about the rights of migrants, the responsibilities of nations, and the very essence of humanity in an increasingly interconnected world. If you found this content insightful, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share for more in-depth stories like this. Beneath the surface, unpacking the reasons for deportation. The Nigerian government cited several factors as justification for the deportations. Chief among them was the strain on the nation's resources, particularly in major cities already grappling with overpopulation and unemployment. Officials argued that the influx of undocumented migrants was exacerbating these issues, putting immense pressure on housing, healthcare, and social services. Security concerns also played a significant role in the decision. Nigeria, already battling internal security challenges, expressed concerns about the potential for undocumented migrants to be exploited by criminal networks or even radicalized by extremist groups. The government argued that the deportations were necessary to safeguard national security and maintain public order. Furthermore, Nigeria pointed to the economic impact of undocumented migration. The government argued that the presence of a large, undocumented workforce was driving down wages, displacing Nigerian workers, and fueling an informal economy that operates outside the purview of regulation and taxation. Echoes of injustice, ethical and legal concerns. The mass deportation has been met with widespread condemnation from human rights organizations, international legal experts, and the global community at large. Critics argue that the deportations violate international law, particularly the principle of non-refoulement, which prohibits countries from returning individuals to places where they would face persecution, torture, or other serious human rights violations. Many of the deported individuals had been living in Nigeria for years, establishing lives, families, and businesses. The sudden uprooting of their lives, often with little to no warning, has been deemed cruel and inhumane. Concerns have also been raised about the conditions in which the deportations were carried out, with reports of overcrowding, inadequate access to food and water, and even physical abuse. The deportations have also raised questions about due process and the right to a fair hearing. Many migrants were deported without being given an opportunity to challenge their deportation orders, access legal counsel, or present their case for remaining in Nigeria. This lack of transparency and accountability has further fueled accusations of human rights violations. The human cost stories of loss and displacement. Amidst the political rhetoric and legal debates, it's crucial to remember the human faces behind the statistics. The mass deportation has had a devastating impact on the lives of over 1 million individuals and their families, leaving a trail of broken dreams, shattered communities, and uncertain futures. Amina, a mother of 3, had been living in Nigeria for over a decade, running a small food stall that allowed her to provide for her children. She was deported to a country she barely remembered, forced to leave behind her entire life and start anew in a place where she knew no one and had no means of support. John, a young man who had fled violence in his home country, had found work and a sense of belonging in Nigeria. The deportation ripped him away from the life he had painstakingly rebuilt, forcing him back into a cycle of displacement and uncertainty. These stories, replicated thousands of times over, underscore the profound human cost of the mass deportation. They serve as a stark reminder that behind the abstract notions of borders, sovereignty, and national interest lie real people with real lives, hopes, and dreams. Yet amidst the despair, there is hope. Communities are coming together to support those affected, and individuals are showing incredible resilience. Their strength and determination to rebuild their lives serve as a powerful testament to the human spirit. Together we can make a difference, and together we can rebuild.